Hello all, my name is Hitesh Tamani and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today I'm back with an interesting business analytics problem. So make sure you watch the video till end to learn something new and please subscribe to my channel if not already done yet. So this particular problem we have is from like city of San Francisco, and basically we are having a restaurant health violations data set with us, right? Same kind of problem I have solved using SQL as well. So if you guys have seen the solution of that, so you could skip the introductory part of this particular problem, and you can just directly jump onto the solution part of this, right? So yeah, let's get started. So basically, as we can see, in this particular problem statement, we are having the data set available with us of restaurants health violations, right? So for that, I am like basically using pd.read underscore CSV in Python to just read the CSV file. And I'm storing this in the data frame, right? So let me just quickly run this particular query. Uh, okay, so we got a Unicode decode error over here, right? So basically, there could be some like special characters might be there in the data set, and like due to that, basically we are getting this kind of error, right? So in order to get rid of this particular error, what we have to do, we are having like basically parameter over here in read underscore CSV like function. So we can use encoding equal to Unicode underscore escape, right? So when we will use this, basically what it will do, all the encoding, like basically special characters or the encoding which it has, it will basically like escape that particular encoding, right? So let me just quickly run this and we'll show you how our output will look like now. So yeah, so this is the data set, right? So let me just quickly walk you through the data set and then probably we will be able to deep dive into the problem statement and the solution of that particular problem, right? So yeah, we can see basically we are having business ID, business name, business address, and all the address related details of that particular like city, right? Apart from that, like we are having inspection ID, date, score, type, violation ID as well. We are having violation description and risk category as well, right? So this is the data set, right? And let me just quickly walk you through the problem statement. So basically, they have asked us to find the worst business in the data set, right? So as we can see, in this particular data set, we have business name. Apart from that, like we are having inspection date as well. And apart from that, like we are having a violation ID as well, right? So and they have mentioned it in the like problem statement itself. So worst business is nothing but basically which has most violations during that particular year, right? So yeah, so this is the like definition of worst business, which has most violations during that particular year, right? And we have to provide the output of this particular problem in the form of year, business name, and number of violations, right? So I think like the very first step which we can take from this particular problem statement is the level of output which we have to provide over here, right? So can we say this thing in this particular output there is a need of year, business name, and number of violations, right? So as we can see, basically business name is available over here, right? This year and number of violations is something which we have to basically figure out from this particular data set, right? So like as we can see, basically over here we are having inspection date, right? So can I say this thing from this inspection date, I will be able to get year, right? And like basically if we will do a count of violation ID, from that I will be able to get number of violations, right? So let me just quickly show you like how to basically solve this particular problem. So before going ahead, let me just quickly check the data type of this particular data set, right? So I'm using df.dtype just to check the data types of this particular data set, right? So as we can see, we are having business ID is int 64 business name object, since we need inspection date over here, right? So as we can see, basically inspection date is nothing but a object, right? But since we have to convert this particular date into year, right? So for that, it's mandatory that like this particular column or like this particular variable should be in a date time format, right? So like we have to convert this from object to a date time format. So for that, I'm using pd dot to underscore date time, right? And basically I will pass the like column reference over here, right? So which is nothing but df and I will use inspection date, right? Likewise, I am basically providing the column reference over here, right? And this we have to make the like this change we have to make in the same column itself, right? So I will basically store this particular value change or like data frame change in the same variable itself, right? So let me just run this query, right? Now, we if I will basically check what is the data type of this, right? Let me just show you. Yeah, as we can see, inspection date is now date time, right? So now, if we have to extract year from this, right? So we are having a inbuilt function in Python. Let me just copy this and like basically we have to create a year from this, right? So can I say this thing? I will create a like new column, right? Whose name I will be able to give as like inspection year, right? And for that, I will use df inspection date, right? I will use dot dt dot year, right? This is a like function in date time format, right? So basically, if we will use this particular function, we will be able to convert or fetch the date, like fetch the year basically from our date, right? Let me just quickly run this and we'll show you how our data set looks like now. So yeah, df dot head, I will print. Yeah. As you can see, basically over here, I got inspection year, right? Now, what we have to do? We have to now figure out like a number of violations, right? So can I say this thing? Like along with number of violations, what all other details we have to fetch? We need year and business name, right? Right. So can I say this thing? If I will do a group by on year and business name and do a count of violation ID, I will be able to get number of violations as per that particular year and that particular business, right? So let me just quickly show you how we will be able to achieve that. So yeah, so I will for that I will use cf dot group by, right? And I will basically pass inspection year since we have to pass multiple columns. So I will be passing that in the form of list over here. So I'm using inspection year, and apart from that, I will use business name as well, right? So yeah, and along with that, like since we have to count like violations IDs, so I will use dot agg, which is the aggregated function, and I will give this as num violations, right? And I will use violation ID over here. Let me just copy it from here, right? And I will use count, right? And yeah, so this is what basically, let me just quickly show you what our output will look like. I mean, this will take some time. Oh, there is a typo again. Yeah. So yeah, as we can see, basically for inspection year 2015, this is the business name, and these are the number of violations, right? So again, like since this particular format is not in a tabular format, so I will use dot reset underscore index, right? And let me just quickly like store it in a form of database, right? So or like data frame, sorry, right? So I will use worst business year, right? So this is the temporary data frame. You can use anything as per your choice, right? Let me just run this and now if I can show you. Yeah. So this is something which we got from this particular piece of code, right? Now, what we have to do, can I like basically in a specific year for a specific business, we got these many number of violations, right? Now, as per this particular problem, what we have to do, we have to basically find out worst business, right? So worst is like worst business. What do we mean by worst business? Worst business is nothing but basically which has most number of violations during the year, right? So can I say this thing from this particular data, right? We have to fetch the maximum number of violations, right? If I will be able to fetch maximum number of violations from this particular data set, and if I will basically filter out just for for those number of violations, if I will filter out business and year, I will be able to basically provide the output for my problem statement. Right. Let me just quickly show you how what we have to do and what I meant to say for that. Right. So basically what we have to do, we have to figure out maximum number of violations from this particular data, right? So for that, can I say this thing, if I will arrange this in descending order, right? If I will arrange this in descending order and just fetch the topmost record from that particular data set, I will be able to solve my problem, right? Let me just quickly show you what I meant to say for that. So from this, right? From this, I am using function there is an inbuilt function in pandas which is nothing but sort underscore values. So basically this is a function which we use to like sort our values, right? So let's say if we have to sort our values in ascending or descending, we will be using sort underscore values, right? Again, since we have to basically sort sort inspection year and number of violations at the same time, right? So this is a point which you have to basically note, and this is important as well. So let's say if we have to sort multiple values at the same time or in a same piece of code, so again, we have to provide that in the form of list, right? So let me just quickly show you what I meant to say for that. So since I have to basically sort values based on inspection year and number of violations, right? So I am basically providing both of these in the form of list over here, right? And what I will do, I will use ascending, right? This is the parameter which we have to use in sort underscore values, right? Now inside ascending, we have to basically pass uh, like uh, since basically this is ascending will take the boolean values over here, right? So for every column we have to basically pass which operation we would like to perform, right? So inspection year we have to sort this as ascending order, right? So since this particular parameter is ascending, so I will use true over here, right? Since we have to basically sort this in the form of ascending order only, number of violations we have to sort in descending order, right? So since this particular parameter is ascending, so I will use false for that, right? If I will use false for that, automatically this will basically sort the values in descending order, right? So yeah, and let's say if we are having three or four more parameters along with these, we have to basically use same boolean values for that as well, right? So let me just show you how our output will look like now. Let me run this. So yeah, as we can see, for 2015 we got number of violations over here, right? So maximum number of violations I got over here basically, right? Now let me just store this particular value in this value itself or in this data frame itself, right? Now, what I will do basically, can I say this thing? Let me just quickly show you this particular data frame once again, right? So now, can I say this thing? If I will take just the very first record for all the years, right? So for all the years, if I will take the very first record, I will be able to basically fetch like those records for every year, which has maximum number of violations, right? Can I say this thing? So basically, let me just quickly show you what I meant to say for that. So for that, what I'm doing over here is uh, from this particular data frame, right? I'm using group by, right? What I will do basically, I will do a group by on inspection year, right? So basically what it will do, it will basically group all the values of inspection year. And from this, what I have to do, I have to basically just fetch the very first record of every year, right? So in Python or in Pandas, if we have to fetch the first record, we have to use head function over here, right? And inside head, we have to like give the parameter, like how many records we need, right? So if I will basically use this particular piece of code, let me just run this and we'll show you how our output will look like. So yeah, as we can see for 2015, right? Since I used inside group by, since I used inspection year, so can I say this thing for inspection year 2015? If I'm using head one, so basically I'm getting the very first record. Similarly for 2016, I'm getting the very first record. Similarly for 2017, I'm getting the very first record, which is the maximum number of violations. And similarly for 2018, right? And this is what basically we have to provide in the as the output of this particular problem, right? So as you can see, we are having inspection year, business name, and like this is that particular business which got most number of violations, right? I mean, like this will be the worst business in 2015, right? So, yep, that's all from my side. I hope you got to learn something new today. Let me know in the comments section, like how you are like basically how you are finding these particular videos, right? Uh, cool. That's all from my side. Thank you, one and all. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.